Hey everyone, it's Dane again, and I have another NESRGB to do, which I'm pretty excited about. This time, we are going to be installing a NESRGB board in a Toploader. It's actually my first time doing one of those, so I'm pretty excited about that. We are also going to be doing a no-cut version of this. And to make that possible, we are going to be using Borti's I/O board tonight, and that will be handling all of our palette switching and all that sort of thing. So this one should be fun, should be a learning experience. Let's get to it. Okay, so we have our Toploader NES here, and some of the different parts that we're going to use. This would be our SNES style multi-out from Laserbear. Pretty cool. This would be our actual NESRGB board. All the parts that are going to go with that, including the extra board to make it work in our Toploader, and Borti's I/O board. All right, so let's crack this bad boy open. Now, I did already do a functionality test to make sure that it does work. Played some Mega Man 2 on it, no problem. So I know that everything in here works. The first step that we're going to take tonight is going to be to do a recap, put a new power regulator in there, and then we'll check that, make sure that is all good to go, and then move on to our NESRGB. All right, so I've already taken the screws out for the top there. Let's go ahead and remove our other plates here. All right, there's one of our RF plates. We can actually get a look at the motherboard here. Our long screws. All right, and that frees up our motherboard. All right, so next we are going to go ahead and pull this cover off. In order to do that, we have to get at just our screw that holds our voltage regulator onto this, as well as these bottom screws here. Actually, I'm gonna pull this voltage regulator screw first. Okay, there we go. Now the reason for that is just that I don't want that being the only screw holding on this big heatsink here. All right, there's our heatsink. Yeah, this is like exactly the same as that AV FAMI. Not exactly the same, obviously. This does not have AV outputs here. This does have only has an RF module. But otherwise, this is almost identical to the AV FAMI that I fixed up not too long ago. Just had a bad voltage regulator in it. So yeah, it looks like we have a much easier recap than on your standard NES. No great big RF module to deal with, since we are going to be removing this anyway to install our nice SNES multi-out. So yeah, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 total caps to replace. So that plus the voltage regulator. So yeah, no big deal. Let's go ahead and get started on that. All right, we are set up and ready to go. Let's go ahead and reflow the joints for our caps here. Go ahead and turn on my fume extractor. Let's go ahead and start with this big boy here. All right, there's the big one. I believe these ones are the little one. Oh yeah, I forgot to hit that with flux. Alright, so we have this one here. Looks like it's these two. Alright, and then this last one right down here. Gonna take care of our last cap here. Okay, so far it looks like we're still rolling. We have now reflowed all of our caps. We'll go ahead and reflow the voltage regulator while we are in here as well. Looks like we kind of bridged all those, but that's okay. Coming out anyway. All right, let's go ahead and desolder. All right, that should have pulled through, but they really had the, oh, That's the little one. Okay, no wonder. No wonder the big one wasn't going anywhere. Oh, son of a gun. It's like we froze up again. Man, this is making this video really hard to do. Alright, there's our big cap. And our little cap. Making progress. Okay, there we have all of our caps removed. So let's go ahead and recap our board. Okay, so we have our console5.com cap kit here. Go ahead and crack that open and get replacing our caps. Okay, so I would say that would be our big boy, 1500 microfarad cap for the back. All right, let's see here. I need to check my console 5 wiki and see what's what. So C14, which is the little cap that goes next to this big one, is a 1 mic 50 volt. Not that one. All right, so those will be our two sort of power caps there at the back of the board. Let's go ahead and start there. The little one first, otherwise we won't really be able to maneuver around it the way we need to, and then we'll do the big boy. Alright, so positive is going to be on our right, negative is going to be on our left, so that will go in there just like that. Just bend one leg to sort of keep it in place there. Alright, then I'm going to come from the back side and push that so until it sits really nice and flush with the board. And I don't actually like to keep the legs cranked over like that. I like to make sure they're standing up straight. Looks good. Let's go ahead and do our big cap now. All right, so our positive leg is up here. Our negative one will be facing the ground plane. Right there like that. Okay, get your side snips out. Accidentally dropped a couple legs on board there. All right, there's our power caps. Looking good. So next one is going to be C1. And according to our wiki page, that is a 100 microfarad 6.3 volt. That is a 100 mic 10, so that'll probably do it for us. Yep. All right, so our positive and negative are going to face the same way as our big power filter cap. All right, I'm just going to push that from behind. Make sure that is sitting nice and flush with the motherboard, just like that. Looking good. I think I'll just clip these as I go. All right, next up is going to be our C3 cap over here. That is a 1 mic 50. Okay, so that is another one where if you're looking at the board from the front, positive will be on the right, negative on the left. Alright, just pushing that up and make sure it sits flush. Alright, last cap. Looks like this is going to be our C11, which is a 0.47 mic 50 volt. That's exactly what I've got there. So this one is going to be positive towards the top of the board, or on my left, and the negative facing the front of the board. Alright, I'm amazed that my camera has not frozen back up on me. Hopefully hopefully I got that sorted. I've never had that issue with OBS before. That's new. All right, that is all that it takes for our recap. All new caps, future-proof it. And the next thing I need to do is put my power regulator back in. So let me go grab one of my 78 SO5s. Okay, so I've got my 78 SO5 voltage regulators here. And the way I'm going to do this would be to actually screw the voltage regulator in first to the heatsink. Use one of my magnetic screwdrivers here. See if that doesn't make my life a little easier. All right, so I'm just screwing that in first. And so that will let me set the voltage regulator at the exact right height in the board. And I might as well just go ahead and screw this back in place while I'm in there so I can test out my work, make sure everything's good to go. All right, so that voltage regulator is in place. But I'm also going to go ahead and just screw the whole heatsink back in because I don't want it to put any extra pressure on the voltage reg. So do that right quick. All right, having some trouble there. That lined up better. There's one, and there's the other. I mean, I don't think this is strictly necessary, but that's just kind of the way I do it. Okay, so our heatsink is firmly in place, our voltage regulator is screwed in, and now we are ready to solder that back in place. Okay, our board is now recapped and has a brand new voltage regulator. Kind of hard to see down in there with the heatsink on there, but it's right back there. So I need to test this out and make sure that it is all functional, and then I'll be able to get the board ready for our actual NESRGB mod. Yeah, let's go get this thing hooked up. So I actually only have one TV that is capable of doing RF, and it's my great big 16:9 CRT. So I actually have to test that over there. So I'm gonna have to grab my camera and pull it over there so we can see it working. And here's what we're looking like. So that is a successful install. All right, so we are off to a great start with our NESRGB install. It's recapped, new power reg, totally good to go there. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night, just so I can start fresh on the next thing coming up. But I think basically we're going to start prepping this board. We're going to pull out the old RF unit, install the LaserBear SNES multi out, pull the PPU, get our brackets set up, we're getting our RGB board and stuff, and just all that stuff next time. So yeah, thanks for hanging with me tonight. If you're having fun, please like and subscribe and all that business, and we'll catch you next time. Bye now.